The Trusted Advisor Sales Engineer by John Kerr. Picture this. A company discovers an approach so effective that they slash their proposal workload in half. Not only do they win more deals, but each victory is nearly 20% bigger than before. And here's the kicker. For 2 straight years, not one of their star performers even thinks about jumping ship. Sounds too good to be true? It's not. This actually happened. And it's the beating heart of the story we're diving into today. Now, when someone mentions technical sales, what image pops into your head? Maybe it's the classic demo monkey, that brilliant tech wizard who can showcase every feature of a product, clicking through screens at lightning speed, rattling off specs like a human manual. They're there to flex their expertise and prove why their product is the best thing since sliced bread. But here's the thing. In our noisy, crowded world where everyone's pitching something, how do you break through? How do you become the one voice a customer actually wants to hear? Not just someone they politely nod at, but someone they genuinely trust. How do you transform from just another vendor into the advisor they can't imagine working without? That's exactly what John Kerr tackles in his eye-opening guide, The Trusted Advisor Sales Engineer. Kerr isn't some ivory tower academic. He's been in the trenches at tech giants like Oracle, Sybase, and HP. This book isn't just a collection of sales tricks. It's a deep exploration of human psychology, connection, and influence. Think of it as your roadmap for evolving from the person who answers questions into the person whose opinion actually matters. By the time we're done today, you'll grasp a surprisingly simple formula for earning rock-solid trust. It's built on 5 key factors that can revolutionize not just a sales career, but any relationship where you want to make a real difference. You'll discover what separates the merely good from the truly exceptional, and you'll have a completely new way of viewing every conversation, every meeting, every chance to genuinely connect with another human being. Our journey begins on a stormy Manhattan morning, 32 floors up. John Kerr, then a manager at Sybase, sat in a tense meeting. The company was struggling, a competitor was eating their lunch, and a very senior executive had flown in with some tough news. He looked around the room and delivered words that would change everything. You and your teams need to get closer to our customers than ever before. You need to become their trusted advisors. It's our only shot at survival. Then crickets. Finally, someone voiced what everyone was thinking. Okay, but how exactly do we become a trusted advisor? The executive's response was both maddening and empowering. You're smart people, you'll figure it out. You'll know it when you see it. And that's what this book is really about, figuring it out. Because becoming a trusted advisor isn't about memorizing scripts or learning clever tactics. It's about fundamentally rethinking your entire role. Here's the first crucial lesson. You can't just declare yourself a trusted advisor. Your company can't print it on your business card. This is something your customers decide about you. You earn it, you don't claim it. So what does that actually feel like? The author suggests a simple thought experiment. Think about someone in your own life, not your boss or your parents, who you'd call your personal trusted advisor. Someone you could reach out to with a serious problem, knowing their advice would be completely honest and totally in your best interest. That feeling you get when you think of that person, that absolute certainty, that 100% confidence, that sense of knowing they've got your back, that's your target. That's the feeling you want to create in your customers, your colleagues, everyone you work with. But if trust is this invisible, powerful thing, how can we actually build it intentionally? How do we measure something so intangible? This is where John Kerr introduces the book's central insight, the trust equation. He adapted it from the groundbreaking work of Charles Green and his colleagues. And it's deceptively simple but incredibly powerful. Here's what it looks like. T equals C plus R plus I divided by S times P. T stands for trust. Now, before your eyes glaze over, this is actually super straightforward. Let's break it down, because understanding this is like getting handed a secret key to human relationships. The letters on top, C, R, and I, are your positive factors. You want these numbers as high as possible. First up, C, for credibility. This isn't just about being smart or knowing your stuff. Credibility means being believably smart. A customer needs to believe what you're saying and see the value in it. For most technical folks, this is the easiest box to check. We love being accurate and knowledgeable. But here's the trap. Credibility by itself is useless. If you're just showing off how much you know without connecting it to their actual world, you're not building trust. You're just creating white noise. Next, R, for reliability. This one's beautifully straightforward. It boils down to 4 letters, DAYS, do as you say. If you promise an answer by Thursday, you deliver by Thursday. Period. Reliability isn't built through one impressive gesture. It's constructed over time, through countless small, consistent actions. Every promise you keep is another brick in your trust foundation. Third, I for intimacy. This word might make some people squirm in a business context, but it's not about being besties or knowing their kids' names, though that doesn't hurt. Intimacy in this equation means understanding. It's about empathy. It's your ability to step into the customer's shoes and see the world, their challenges, their goals, from their perspective. According to the author's research, this is often the weakest area for technical people. We're comfortable with data and systems, but understanding the human, emotional dimension of a business problem, that's a whole different ballgame. Now we hit the most powerful part, the denominator S, for self-orientation. Because it's on the bottom of the fraction, this is the one factor where you want the lowest score possible. Self-orientation measures something simple but profound. In any given moment, are you thinking about your needs or theirs? When you catch yourself thinking about your quota instead of their problem, about closing the deal instead of asking another question, your self-orientation is sky high, and it's absolutely destroying trust. This is the silent relationship killer, and ironically, it often comes from good intentions. Think about it. You interrupt a customer because you're so excited you already know the answer. You propose a solution too quickly because you genuinely want to help. These feel helpful, but they're all about you. Your need to be smart. Your need to be the hero. Low self-orientation means listening to truly understand, not just waiting for your turn to talk. It's the single biggest lever you can pull to boost trust. Finally, there's P, for positivity, sitting outside the brackets. This is your overall multiplier. It's the energy you bring into the room. Not fake cheerfulness or being overly loud. It's a deeper, more subtle confidence. It's that can-do attitude that spots opportunities instead of just problems. It's the calm assurance that, together, you can figure things out. So there you have it. The crisp formula. Credibility, reliability, intimacy, self-orientation, and positivity. Once you crack this code, every interaction looks different, but the equation is only half the picture. The next question is, what do customers actually care about? The author and his team conducted a massive survey, asking over 2,000 managers and executives worldwide a simple question: what skills do you value most from your vendor's technical team? The results are a serious wake-up call for anyone in a technical or advisory role. Coming in at number 5, chosen by just over half the respondents, someone with deep technical knowledge. Let that sink in. The very thing most technical professionals think is their main value sits at the bottom of the list. It's not unimportant. The author calls it table stakes, the minimum just to play the game. But it's not what separates good from great. So what ranked higher? Number 4. Someone who can communicate effectively with me. Number 3. Someone I can trust to do the right thing for us. That's literally the definition of a trusted advisor. Number 2. Someone who can design innovative solutions with my staff. Notice that word, with. It implies collaboration, not just delivering a pre-packaged answer. And the number 1 skill customers valued most? The single most important thing they look for in a technical partner? Someone who understands my business. There it is. The big reveal. They don't want you to be the smartest person in the room about your product. They want you to be the person who gets their world best. This perfectly reinforces the trust equation. Understanding their business demands high intimacy and low self-orientation. It requires making it about them, not you. With this framework in place, the crisp equation and the customer's perspective, the rest of the book becomes a masterclass in applying these principles to everything a sales engineer does. Let's start with discovery, the process of understanding customer needs. The book pushes for a critical mindset shift. Turn ABC, always be closing, into always be consultative. Your job isn't finding an opening to sell, it's uncovering the true nature of their problem. The author shares a quote from the famous physician William Osler, who said, "Listen to your patient, he is telling you his disease." The modern equivalent for an advisor. Listen to your customer, he is telling you his problem. This means being patient, fighting the urge to jump in with solutions, and asking questions that reach the emotional core, like, "And how does that impact you personally?" Then comes presentations and demonstrations. The common mistake is the feature tour, showing off everything the product can do. A trusted advisor flips this around. They make it relevant. They connect every feature back to the business. A powerful technique is what the author calls the 3 wise men. Every point should relate to either increasing revenue, decreasing costs, or mitigating risk. This ensures you're speaking business language, not just tech jargon. One of the most powerful tools for a trusted advisor is the whiteboard. Why? Because, as the author puts it, it's an idea or concept that goes straight from your brain to the board. It's personal, not some PowerPoint that a product marketing person at headquarters built. It's raw, collaborative, and builds immense credibility. The book shares a wonderful story about an IT executive so impressed by a collaborative whiteboard sketch that he left it up in his office for 3 months, using it to explain the project to his entire executive team and secure funding. That's the power of visual, collaborative selling. What about handling objections? The book offers another profound reframe. Sales representatives handle objections. Sales engineers answer questions. This simple language shift transforms confrontation into conversation. Most customer objections aren't challenges. They're genuine requests for information. Your job isn't winning an argument. It's helping them understand. Supporting all of this is what the author calls the sales engineer's built-in advantage. When a salesperson and a technical expert walk into a room together, who does the customer naturally trust more? Almost always the technical expert. Why? Because the salesperson's perceived job is selling something. Your perceived job is helping. You start with higher baseline trust. The critical task is not squandering that advantage by immediately switching into sales mode, talking features, pushing solutions, showing high self-orientation. Finally, the book reminds us this journey isn't just external, it's internal too. You must also become a trusted advisor to your own sales team. This isn't about being subservient, but about genuine partnership, respecting boundaries, and working together. And it all starts with knowing yourself, understanding your personality, your strengths, and your blind spots. From a stormy Manhattan morning to a practical, actionable formula, the Trusted Advisor Sales Engineer provides the complete blueprint for building relationships that last, relationships that drive results, and relationships built on the world's most valuable currency, trust. As we zoom out and look at the bigger picture, what becomes crystal clear is that this book's message reaches far beyond technical sales. At its heart, this is a book about the art of human connection. The central idea, that real influence comes not from what you know, but from how much you care about the person in front of you, is a timeless, universal truth. The transformation it maps out is from being feature-focused to problem-focused, from self-centered to other-centered. And that shift applies to all of us, regardless of age or profession. Think about your own life right now. This isn't just about selling software. It's about being the friend whose advice people actually seek out and follow. It's about being the team member others want to collaborate with because they know you're in it for the project's success, not just personal glory. It's about earning trust from your parents, your teachers, your future boss. The principles are identical. The crisp formula: credibility, reliability, intimacy, low self-orientation, and positivity is your guide for building any meaningful relationship. The most powerful and perhaps most challenging lesson is about self-orientation. We live in a world that constantly pushes us to broadcast our achievements, prove how smart we are, have the quickest answer. This book teaches the opposite. It champions the quiet power of listening, the wisdom in pausing before speaking, the strength in admitting you don't know, and the immense trust built when you make conversations about someone else. So how can you start putting this into practice today? Here are 3 simple actions you can take right now. First, for the next week, practice one thing. Listen to understand, not to respond. When someone's talking to you, a friend, a parent, a teacher, your only goal is truly understanding their world from their perspective. Don't think about what you'll say next. Don't formulate counter-arguments, just listen. Second, think of one person you want a better, stronger relationship with. Instead of trying to impress them or show how much you can do for them, find one small way to be reliable. Make a small, simple promise. Then make absolutely sure you keep it. It could be as basic as sending an article you mentioned, or calling when you said you would. That's the first brick in your trust foundation. Third, next time you feel the urge to jump in with advice, ask a question instead, a question that shows you care about their perspective. Simple questions like, "How do you feel about that?" or "What's been your biggest challenge in this situation?" You'll be absolutely amazed at what you learn when you stop solving and start understanding. The journey to becoming a trusted advisor isn't a race with a finish line. There's no magical moment when you suddenly arrive. It's a quiet, steady, daily practice. It's built in small moments of reliability, in conversations where you listen more than you speak, and in choices where you consistently put someone else's interests first. The beautiful thing is, when you dedicate yourself to building trust for others, you inevitably end up building the very best version of yourself. We've explored the blueprint together today, but a summary is like looking at a map of a beautiful city. You can see the layout, but you can't feel the energy of the streets or taste the food. The real journey happens when you walk those streets yourself. If these ideas have sparked something in you, I genuinely encourage you to pick up the book. Reading it is an experience, a conversation with the author, that can fundamentally change how you connect with people. You can find a link in the description below. And finally, if this journey has brought you some value, a quick click on the like button and a subscription to Billionaire's Bookshelf would mean the world. It tells us we're on the right track and ensures you won't miss our next exploration into a book that can change your life. Let's continue learning and growing together.